everyone, welcome back to the Jamaican family kitchen. So today I'll be making some refried beans. I have 12 ounce of pinto beans. I'm gonna go ahead and sort through it and pick out what's in there that's not supposed to, in these broken beans, and then rinse them off, get them on the stove to cook for maybe about 2 hours or 3, depends on how hard they are or soft. And then I'm gonna be making some tortillas also, so stay tuned. Okay, so as I said, I was gonna go ahead and pick through my beans, sort through them to get out, you know, all the broken beans that's in there and some that don't look good. So I'm finished with that, and in my hand, these are what I got out of there. So these are no good. I'm gonna go ahead and throw these out to the trash and rinse my beans, and then get some water in there and put it on the stove so they can start cooking. Okay, so I went ahead and I washed these, and so now I put them back in here, and I add 2.5 cups of water. So I'm gonna go ahead, get this on the stove so it can start cooking. Okay, so I went ahead and add water to that, so now it's on the stove. I already turned it on. Let these start cooking. I have 2 cloves of garlic right here. I'm gonna split them in half, and I have a half onion, and I'm gonna cut this in 2, and I'm just gonna use a piece of it, and I'm gonna sit that in the pot. Meanwhile those beans are boiling, I'm gonna let these cook with the beans. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cover this up and let it cook. So okay guys, so the beans are cooking, and I have 2 cups of rice in here. I'm gonna go ahead, get this cleaned up, and then I'll show you how I'm gonna prepare this rice right here. I'm gonna do it a little bit different than how I normally do my rice. Okay fam, so I'm gonna get started on the meat. So I have 2 pounds of ribs, which is pork ribs. You can use any ribs you want to use. I have that, and I already cleaned that up. I have a half an onion right here cut up. It's a small onion, so I just cut up half of it, and I'm gonna go ahead and season the ribs with that. I'm gonna use 1 teaspoon of garlic, the onion powder, I'm gonna use maybe about 1 teaspoon also, and paprika, I'm gonna use 1.5 teaspoon, and I have 3 teaspoons of my green seasoning here. I'm gonna go ahead and get that seasoned up with the meat. Okay, so this is all seasoned up. I have 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon onion powder in here. I have 3 teaspoons of my green seasoning, 1.5 teaspoon paprika, and 1 teaspoon salt. So it's seasoned. Now I have my pot right here. It's heating up. Okay, so these are the beans. They've been cooking for almost 2 hours. I just went ahead and add 1 more cup of water in there. I'm gonna cover that back up, and this is my pot right here that I'm gonna be cooking the ribs in. It's hot. I'm gonna go ahead and transfer the ribs to that. Okay, so I did went ahead and transfer the meat into my pot, and I did use 2 tablespoons of oil. That's all I use in there. So I'm gonna let them cook on the side that they're on right now. So maybe I'm gonna give probably about a minute or 2, and then I'll turn, just mix them around, flip them over a little bit, and let them cook again on the other side for maybe about a minute or 2. And then the season that's in the bowl, I'm gonna get maybe about a cup and a half of water in that, and then pour it in here and cover it up and let them cook down. Okay, so I did went ahead and give these a stir, and I'm gonna let them sit for maybe about a minute or 2, and then I'll pour the rest of the seasoning from the bowl that I had them seasoned in. I'm gonna pour that in with 1.5 cup of water, cover it up, and let them cook down a little bit, and then I'll check back on it, because I'm not gonna put a lot of water, because even though they're cooking right now, it's rib, and they actually produce water itself. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of water, let it cook down, and then I'll add more as I go. So I went ahead and covered up the meat, so I'm gonna let it cook for about 30-35 minutes. Come back and check it, and then I'm gonna add some more water to it. So we'll see how much water I need to add to it when we come back in 35 minutes to check on that. So let's get started in something else. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the rice started. I have 1 teaspoon of my green season here, and I'm gonna go ahead. I have like 3 tablespoons of oil in this frying pan right here. That's what I'm gonna be using. I have that a half of the onion that I used earlier from the meat, so I'm gonna put the rest in here. And this is gonna be for the rice. Okay. Let me go ahead and just lift that up a bit. There's no salt in here yet. And I'm not gonna add any salt, not just yet, because I'm gonna use my Maggi also in there. So after I put the Maggi and see, taste it to see how much salt is in there, then if I need salt, I'll go ahead and add more to it. So this is gonna be for the rice. Okay, so I have 1 cup of mixed vegetable in here, and I'm gonna go ahead and add it in. Okay, so 1 cup of mixed vegetable in here also. So I went ahead and put a half of my Maggi season here. I'm gonna go ahead and just crush it out. And now I have my 2 cups of rice that I showed from earlier that I washed. And I'm gonna go ahead and add in the rice in here. Okay, so I went ahead and I add the rice in there. I stirred up a little bit. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add some water to it. I'm gonna add probably about 2 cups of water. Okay guys, so I have 2 cups of water, and I'm gonna go ahead add that in there. So I'm gonna stir it up a little bit. Let it cook down just a little. So I did went ahead and taste it, and I'm gonna add probably about, I think I'm gonna do maybe like a half a teaspoon or so. Okay, so this is what the rice look like right now. So I went ahead and I turned my stove down on a 3. It's a really low heat. I'm gonna go ahead, get a piece of foil, put over it, cover it up, and let it sit for about 20 minutes, and we can check back on that. Okay, so 30 minutes after cooking the ribs. So now I went ahead and I add like 4 cups of water in there, and I'm gonna let that sit on a medium heat for about 45 minutes, then we'll come back and check on it. Okay, so after 3 hours, the beans are finally finished cooking. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and make some tortillas, and then when I'm finished, I'll use that same frying pan to do my beans, to refry the beans. Okay, so 20 minutes and our rice is finished cooking. So I'm just gonna set that aside and go ahead and make some tortillas, and then I'll do the beans. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and make some tortillas. I'm gonna use the maseca. I have 2 cups in my bowl, and I have 1.5 cup of water. It's like lukewarm water. I'm gonna go ahead and use as much as I need, and if I don't need all of it, then that'll be it. And I'm gonna add like 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour also, and then I'll go ahead and mix this up. Okay, so this is pretty much like 40 minutes into cooking after I add water to it next time, and it's finished. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. Okay, so I'm finished kneading the maseca to make the tortillas. I'm gonna go ahead and start rolling these out. I already have my I'm gonna use my frying pan. I don't have that thing that they use to set the tortillas on. I saw it at the store, but I wasn't gonna buy it, so this can do it. I'm gonna use this. So let's get rolling. So this is what I'm using to make my tortilla. I got a tortilla presser, okay? And I have some plastic that I went and cut. I kind of cut them out just a little bit so they can like measure it up in the bottom and the top for me to place the dough on to press it out. So I put one in the bottom and I kind of like keep one for the top part of it. Roll out my dough and then I set it in the middle on top of it. Well, once it's set in the middle, I go ahead and close this down. Then I bring this part over and press. Now I'm gonna go ahead, open it back up so it's all pressed out. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this out, remove the top. Remove the top, I set it to the side. I'm gonna pick this up on the plastic that is on and transfer it to my hand, which I gotta put my camera down because I'm using my hand. So this is what it's like. I transferred it to my hand. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the pot because it's really hot. So I'm not gonna lay it like this. I'm gonna go ahead and set it down like this. And I think I'm gonna let it sit for maybe about a minute on this side and then I'll flip it over. Just stay with me. So guys, I went ahead and turned this one and see it got like a little bit of brownness to it. So I'm waiting on the other side to get like the same thing but a little bit darker. Then when I flip it, I'll just wait for it to rise up. And then once it rises up, I'm gonna take it out and put it in my container. Yes, I got, this is for my tortillas. When I make them, I just set them in there so they'll stay warm. Yep. Look at them baby rise. Rise, baby, rise. Look at that, look at that. Can I take them out? Yes, after I put them in there, I just let them sit on each side. But I don't use a spoon or anything, I just use my hand to flip them over. Look at this one rising. I'm gonna go ahead and take this one out and flip that one. Oops, let's go ahead and pick it up, take it out, put it in there, close it up, and go ahead and flip you. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get another one in there. Okay guys, this one is rising. I'm not sure if you can see it. So this is the last one. So that's it. So look at my tortilla. I'm finished. Yes, I am. My container is full to the brim. Full, all the way to the top. And you know you make your tortilla good when you can actually roll them up and they ain't breaking. Yep. Okay, so as I said, I'm gonna go ahead and do the beans. This is one garlic. I went ahead and cut that in two. Put that in the oil. I'm gonna let it fry until they get like real dark. Then I'll take them back out. And I have a half an onion. I'm gonna go ahead and slice this up. Okay, so my onion is cut up right here. The garlic is going. This is the beans. I'm gonna go ahead and take these garlic out. I'm gonna throw the onions in there. And then I'm gonna start adding the beans to it. Now the onions are like this. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start adding the beans to that. Start adding in the beans. And I'm gonna use the whole thing. is what it looks like, and this is my presser. I just went ahead and set it down in there, but I'm gonna go ahead and season to taste. Okay, I'm just gonna put a little bit of I'm gonna use 1 teaspoon of onion powder. This is a half a teaspoon. I'm gonna go ahead and add another one. But you could season it with whatever you want to season it with. Okay. And I'm gonna do 1 teaspoon of salt also. Okay, so I did 1 teaspoon of salt, and then I tasted it, but I went ahead and added a half a teaspoon more. So in total, 1.5 teaspoon. So this is my presser. So I just get it, pick it up, and just push down to crush the beans. But you can put as much salt as you like, or little. So guys, I just keep pressing, and that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead, turn off the stove, and plate all this. Okay fam, so this is a finishing touch. You got the tortillas over there. You got your rice, seasoned rice over here with some mixed vegetables. This is the ribs and the refried beans. So don't forget to subscribe if you're brand new, and for all who are subscribed, thank you, we appreciate it, and I hope you guys be safe until next video.